Good morning, everyone. This is the report of Group 2. We are going to discuss about chess. What is chess? Chess is a board game for two players. It is sometimes called international chess or Western chess to distinguish it from related games such as Shanki or Chinese chess and Shugi or Japanese chess. Chess is a two-player strategy board game that has been played for centuries. 6th century CE, 18th to 15th century, 15th to 16th century, 18th to 19th century, 20th century, and 21st century. Often regarded as the ultimate test of intellect and planning. Chess involves 64 squares and 16 pieces per player, including pawns, rooks, knights, bishops, a queen, and a king. Chess requires critical thinking, foresight, and adaptability, making it a favorite among players worldwide. Its origins trace back to ancient India and Persia, evolving over time into the modern form we recognize today. With countless strategies, from opening gambits to endgame techniques, chess continues to captivate minds both as a casual pastime and in competitive play, including prestigious tournaments like the World Chess Championship. Brief history and development of chess. Origins 6th century CE. Chess originated in northern India as chaturanga, representing four military branches: infantry, cavalry, elephants, and chariots. It spread to Persia, where it became Shatranj. Chess as we know it today has deep historical roots tracing back to 6th century CE India, where it was known as Chaturanga. The name Chaturanga translates to four divisions, symbolizing the primary branches of the military at the time: infantry or pawns, cavalry or knights, elephants, bishops, and chariots, rooks. This ancient game was not just entertainment but also a reflection of strategic warfare. Chaturanga eventually spread to Persia, where it evolved into Shatranj. In Persia, the rules and pieces were slightly modified, and the game became highly esteemed in royal courts. The Persian influence also introduced terms like Shah or king and Shamat or the king is helpless, which late became checkmate in modern chess. Medieval era in 8th to 15th century. With the Islamic conquest, Shatranj spread across the Islamic world and reached Europe by the 10th century, becoming popular among the nobility. European pieces evolved to reflect feudal society. During the medieval era in 8th to 15th century, the game of Shatranj, an early form of chess, spread widely following the Islamic conquests. It became an integral part of Islamic culture and intellectual life, celebrating in art, literature, and science. By the 10th century, Shatranj reached Europe through trade and cultural exchanges, gaining popularity among the European nobility.
Modern rules. By the late Middle Ages, the game saw key rule changes, including stronger queen and bishop movements. speeding up the game. These rules were standardized by the 16th century, with the first chess manual published in 1497. During the late Middle Ages, chess underwent significant rule changes that made the game faster and more dynamic. The queen and bishops were given stronger, more versatile moves, which transformed gameplay by the 16th century. These changes were standardized, and the first chess manual, Repetición de Amores y Arte de Ajedrez by Luis Ramirez de Lucena, was published in 1497, marking a key moment in chess history. Competitive play. Chess clubs and formal tournaments emerged. The first World Chess Championship was held in 1886, and the game saw innovations in chain notations, time control, and opening theory. During the 18th and 19th centuries, chess evolved into a formal competitive sport. Chess clubs became popular gathering places, and organized tournaments emerged, culminating the first World Chess Championship in 1886. Innovations such as standardized notations for recording games, time controls to manage game durations, and the development of opening theory enriched the strategic depth of the game. Professional technology. Chess became a global with the formation of FIDE in 1924. Soviet players dominated introduction deep preparation in 1997. Deep Blue defeated world champion Garry Kasparov, marking technological milestone. Online and AI revolution. Online platforms like Chess.com and Lichess made chess globally accessible. Alliances like AlphaZero reshaped strategies, and chess gained renewed popularity through social media and cultural events like the Queen's Gambit.
Playing chess is not possible without chess equipment. This article will provide preliminary information about chess pieces, sets, clocks, boards, and other important items that are specific to national or international tournaments. Chess is a game that fits perfectly within any budget. The cost of a chess set ranges from a few dollars for a cardboard and plastic sets to hundreds of dollars for well-carved sets that appeal to collectors. Here are 7 chess equipments every player should own. Number 1. Chess set. The set includes the board plus all other pieces like pawns, bishops, rooks, knights, the king, and the queen. Chess sets are aesthetically attractive and sleekly designed. The color and sizes of pieces are precisely chosen to match and contrast with the board squares. Chess sets comes in special travel versions which I prefer for using during experience. They can optionally for theme sets which have special motifs and design armies that can battle each other. These pieces are custom made. Number 2. The chessboard. On the chessboard, the squares are 1.25 inches and the size of the king's base is 1.3 inches, approximately 65 millimeters. Squares with a size of 57 millimeters are usually ideal for pieces in this age range. The darker squares on the chessboard can vary from black to dark green or brown. The lighter colored squares can either be white off or in white color. Although most chessboards have standard white and black squares, you can also find the special one made from black and red squares. Though this looks attractive, most players have said that these colors tend to strain eyes during a play. For tournaments, special chessboards are made, which means they are built right into gaming table. Number 3. Chess tables. For tournaments, the size of a table must have a minimum length twice that of an actual chessboard, and the width should be 15 to 20 centimeters more than that of a chessboard. For fight tournaments, players must use a table that is 120 by 80 centimeters. For both players, the height of the table and the chair has to be comfortable. It is necessary that chairs and tables do not make any noise while players play. Number 4. Chess pieces. For beginners, you will find special pieces that have legal moves printed on the individual pieces. This makes it easier for beginners, like training wheels on a bicycle. Beginners quickly replace these introductory sets with normal ones. When not in use, it is important to store pieces in some kind of container or pouch. Appropriate storage increases the lifespan of a chess set and also makes it easier for people to transport it. Sometimes you may also find special custom-made or personalized gift boxes, which are ideal gifts for chess players. And the last is the travel chess bags. Apart from the above-mentioned equipment, you should also have a travel chess bag, which makes it a lot easier to carry your board, clock, pieces, and other equipment. This is especially important for tournament players in the United States. In Europe, tournaments provide players with all necessary equipment. That's all, thank you. Number 6. Score sheets. To record your chess moves, it is important to keep a score sheet, especially in tournaments and matches. Usually, these are distributed to players at the start of every round. However, most players prefer to record their individual scores in scorebook. Number 5. Chess clocks. In chess games where players use time control, adjacent game clocks consisting of two buttons may be used. One button stops the clock and the other starts the timer. These buttons prevent the clocks from simultaneously running. The clocks can either be digital or analog. Before the game starts, the arbiter has to decide which kind should be used for the game.
Basic skills in chess: visualization, calculation, tactics, strategy, evaluation or analysis, openings, and endgames. Visualization: it is hard to foresee the outcome of a move because you're not allowed to move the pieces around while you're thinking. But you can train to visualize it in your mind. Calculation: to avoid mistakes and save time from the clock, you must improve the speed and accuracy of your calculations. Tactics: you don't want to miss tactical opportunities in your games. That is why you should train your mind to recognize tactical patterns quickly. Evaluation: if you don't know how to evaluate a position, then you will also struggle to find or assist candidate moves that serve an appropriate strategy. Strategy: there aren't always conclusive tactics in a position. That is why you must learn how to improve your position with the right strategy. Openings: it's unpleasant to be on the back foot from the start of the game. Learn to play the opening well and develop the personal opening reporter. Endgames: it is important to study endgame theory because all your hard work in the middle game can be undone if you must play the endgame.
Rules and mechanics of chess. The chessboard. The chessboard consists of a 64 square or 8 by 8 alternating between light and dark square. Each player starts with 16 pieces: 1 king, 1 queen, 2 rooks, 2 knights, 2 bishops, and 8 pawns. The board is set up such that each player has their pieces on the 2 rows closest to them. The back row is where the rook, knights, bishop, queen, and king are placed, and the second row is where the pawns are placed. Piece positioning. The piece are positioned in a way that knight, bishop, queen, king, bishop, knight, rook from left to right. Piece movement. Bishop. Bishop can move diagonally in any number of square. Rooks. Rooks can move horizontally or vertically in any number of square. Queen. The queen can move in any direction, horizontally, vertically, or diagonally in any number of square. King. The king moves one square in any direction. Pawns. Pawns move forward one square, but on its first move, it can move forward two square. Pawn capture pieces diagonally, one square forward to the left or right. Additionally, a pawn has the special move called en passant and can be promoted when reaching the opponent's back rank. Knights. Knights move in an L shape, two square in one direction, one square perpendicular, or vice versa. Knights can jump over other pieces. Special moves. In chess, we have some special moves. Here are some examples of those special moves. First is castling, a move involving the king and the rook, where the king moves two squares towards a rook, and then the rook moves two squares next to the king on the opposite side. This move can only happen under this condition. First, neither the king nor the rook involved has moved previously. Second, the square between the king and rook are empty. And third, the king is not in check and does not move through a square that is under attack and does not end in a check. En passant. En passant. If a pawn moves two squares forward from its starting position and lands beside an opponent's pawn, the opponent can capture the pawn if it had only moved one square forward. This must be done on the very next move. Pawn promotion. When a pawn reaches the opponent's back rank, it can be promoted to any other pieces, except the king. The pawn can be promoted typically to a queen. Turn structure. In chess, players alternate turns, with white going first. Objective of the game. The objective of chess is simple but profound: to checkmate your opponent's king. This means that you place your opponent's king in a position where it is under attack, or in check, and there is no legal move for your opponent to escape the threat of capture. Check. A king is in check if it is under direct attack by an opponent piece. The player must make a move to remove the check by moving the king to a safe place, capturing the attacking piece, or by blocking the attack with another piece. Checkmate. A checkmate occurs when the king is in check and cannot escape from the threat. The game ends and the player who checkmate their opponents win. Stalemate. A stalemate happens when a player has no legal moves and their king is not in check. This results in a draw. In addition to stalemate, a game of chess can end in a draw under this condition. First, inefficient material. If neither player has enough piece to checkmate the opponents. Examples of these are king versus king. Second, threefold repetition. If the same position occurs 3 times with the same player to move, either player can claim a draw. The 50-move rule. The 50-move rule: if 50 consecutive moves are made by both players without a pawn move or a capture, either player can claim a draw. That's all. Thank you.
Penalties. In chess, penalties are typically applied in a competitive and tournament settings, but they can also occur in a casual games depending on the circumstances. Illegal moves. Illegal moves occur when a player makes a move that doesn't follow the rules for that piece, places their own king in check, or violates any other move-specific rules. Penalties for an illegal moves. Tournament rules. In official tournaments, the penalty for an illegal moves varies. First occurrence. In any cases, if a player makes an illegal move, the move is reversed and the opponent is given the opportunity to make their move. Subsequent occurrences. After a second's illegal moves, players may be finalized with the time penalties, loss of the games, or a forfeit depending on the tournament rules. Casual games. In informal play, penalties are typically not as formal, but the illegal moves is often simply corrected and the game continues. Simulation. In sim games, players must make their moves within a allotted time of their chess clock. Simulation can happen in a games with a chess clock. Penalties for a simulation, running out of time. If a player's clock run off before they can make a move, they lose the game, unless the opponent does have enough material to checkmate or the game is a draw condition. In those cases, the game may end in a draw. Delay or tampering with the clock. Deliberately delaying the clock or tampering it may result a forfeiture of the game or a penalty depending on the competition rules. Touch move rule. In formal chess play, the touch move rule states if a player touches one of their pieces, they must move that piece unless of the piece is unable to move. Penalties for breaking the touch move rule. If a player touches a piece, they must move it, prevent its illegal move. If the player touch an opponent's piece, they must capture that piece. If a player intentionally touches a piece and attempts to move another piece, the opponent can claim the move with a touch piece. Conduct violation. In a competitive settings, player must be follow certain codes of conduct. Violation of these rules can result in penalties, ranging from warning to disqualification. Example of conduct violation: verbal abuse, insulting or verbally abusing of opponents of the referee; unsupporting behavior, engaging in activities that disrupt the game or the tournament, such as distracting the opponents or cheating, using internal devices or assistants like chess games or computer programs to make moves or get an advantage. Penalties for conducting violation. Warning: a referee may issue a verbal or written warning for minor offenses. Time penalties. In some cases, a player may be given time penalties for half time added to their opponent's clock. Forfeiture. Serious or repeated violation of conduct can result in a player forfeiting the game or being disqualified from the tournament. Illegal castling. The castling moves that strict rule about the condition under which it can be performed. If a player castle when a condition are not met. For example, moving the king through the square that is attacked is an illegal move. Penalties for illegal castling. Similar to other illegal moves, the moves may be reserved or finalized with a loss of game. In a tournament settings, it can lead a loss of the game, especially if the illegal castling is not not completing the games. Players are expected to finish the games unless both agree to a draw or the games end due to checkmate. If a player simply walks away or refuses to continue the game, they lose by forfeit. Use of external devices or assistants. In official tournaments, using a chess game or external help such as a computer or smartphone is strictly prohibited. Penalties for cheating. Immediate disqualification. A player caught using external assistance may be disqualified from the tournament. ban. Depending on the severity of violation, a player may be face temporary or permanent ban from the competition. Loss of rating. In some cases, a player may be lost rating points or their rating could be removed if they found guilty of cheating.